Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Ron the Don right here. As usual, keeping you up to date on the current events for this week. And this week, I have there's been something about the New York City public school system. The largest public school system in America is about to close. No, matter of fact, they already closed down already. De Blasio, I'm so disappointed in Bill De Blasio, as well as our governor, Andrew Cuomo. Now, for some reason, these politicians all of a sudden think that virtual learning is the same as in-person experience, right? I understand. What's up? Good morning. I understand that the COVID-19 virus is spiking and stuff like that. Okay, that's what they say and stuff like that. I believe. I mean, it probably it is spiking, but it don't affect kids too much. It don't really affect kids too much because their immune system, kids' immune systems are probably are a little bit stronger than older people's immune systems because the older you get, the more your body deteriorates. So since these kids, since they're young, their body is still fresh and new, so their body's automatically fighting off more germs and bacteria and infections than an adult would. At least the average adult would. So yeah. So Bill De Blasio and Cuomo didn't want to didn't close down schools in New York City because of um, concern for the virus. It was more politics, you know. And listen, in like virtual learning is not the same as in person learning. I don't care what anybody says; it's not the same because at least when you're in person, if there's a misunderstanding, you can raise your hand and ask questions. But but with virtual learning you can't do the same thing. The teacher is not going to get back to you as quick, and he's not going to see you and be as aware and as observant as quick because they also on virtual they also on virtual with the other students as well, so they're not going to be able to attend to the child the way they would if it was in person learning. Okay. So what's the sense? And then when they close down schools, eventually they're gonna try to close down the rest of the city. And like you already know, like New York City, we have suffered a lot from this COVID-19. We have suffered a lot. The economy being closed down. It was only closed down for maybe maybe a month and a half to 2 months, and it already caused significant damage. So for you to close it down, for them to close it down again when we desperately need money from the federal government, why would you want to close it down again? That absolutely makes no sense. It's like somebody quitting their job and then they want to ask their parents for money. It's like, yo, but why? And they're gonna ask them why you quit your job to begin with. And they're gonna say, and they're probably gonna say no, because you should never quit your job, and especially if it's not for a good reason. It's the same thing with them shutting down the city. If you shut down the city, how's the city gonna run when we desperately need money? So it's not a good idea to close the city down again if we desperately need funds from the federal government. It makes no sense it would be make no sense to shut it down again, and it's going to cause even more damage to New York City. We're going to end up looking like fucking being like Detroit. We're going to end up being like Detroit. So why would they want to put themselves why should we put ourselves in that situation by closing it down again? And Lord knows Detroit. No, Lord knows. I don't mean to diss Detroit or anything. No disrespect to people that live as from and live in Detroit, but that city is in a is in a financial ruin. It's a mess out there. It's a mess, and we don't want New York City to be in the same boat. Matter of fact, we don't want any city to be in the same boat. And matter of fact, Detroit was just about to come back before it had to shut down before all this the COVID-19 thing was it was on its way back to its feet. Then you shut it down, and now you're going back to square one. New York City, we can't afford to do that. We're a much bigger city than Detroit. We have much more economic capital than Detroit, and we have and New York City is a lot more holds a lot more weight and holds a lot more weight within the country. It holds bigger weight in the economic structure of the country. So you close down New York City is like closing down the main. You closing down the most populated city in the country. So if you close down, so it's like somebody chopping off the head of a fucking. It's like you chopping off the head of an animal. Once you chop off the head, it's done. That's what New York City is. New York City is the most populated country. Excuse me. Since New York City is the most populated city in the United States, that means if you shut it down, then the rest of the Northeast is going to shut down. So you shut down New York City, it's going to shut down parts of Jersey. You shut down, and it's going to shut down parts of Connecticut, and then eventually it's like a domino effect. Then eventually it's going to end up going up to Rhode Island and New England and go up to Boston. It's going to affect economic activity throughout the Northeast and and probably the whole East Coast. New York City is the main port of the East Coast. So you shut it down, you shut down the whole East Coast pretty much. And we can't afford that. Our country, we in a deficit. We in a over $1 trillion deficit right now. We cannot afford for this country, for the city to shut down, as well as the country, period. We cannot afford to shut down. What we need is we probably need we need a little bit more funds from the federal government. But most of all, but we can't just rely on the federal funds from the federal government alone. We also have to produce capital within our own city. Within each individual city and state has to produce its own capital as well, not just rely on the federal government. So the federal government funds from the federal government is supposed to be extra money. We're not supposed to live and die based on the federal government. And what's going to happen is when we shut the city down, when we shut down the state or whatever, we're going to end up in that position where we're going to rely 100% on the federal government alone. Either way, it's like either way you screwed either way. If the federal government giving you funds is the only thing you can rely on, you still in a world of trouble. We're already in a world of trouble as it is, and shutting down the city we're going to end up in a lot more trouble. We can't afford to face another crisis. We're already in a deficit as it is. We can't afford to dig ourselves in a deeper hole. So please, we can't, people, at the end of the day, people live and die every day. People die every day from diabetes, asthma, heart disease, cancer, lung disease, liver disease, kidney disease, everything. People die every day from other medical conditions. People die from the flu every day. So does that mean we're supposed to shut down the whole country? Does that mean we're supposed to shut everything down? No, it don't. It means that the people that's vulnerable to the virus needs to take whatever measures that they need to take from the doctor. Wherever doctor, they need to follow doctor's orders and do what they're supposed to do. That's what it means. While the people that's alive and healthy, let the economy, let us continue to work and do our thing, and let the people that's vulnerable to it, let them do what they have to do and follow doctor's orders. That's the solution to everything. Not shutting down the city or the country again. Okay? We can't dig ourselves in a deeper hole. Keep Let's keep our economy open. See, when the economy shut down, when money stops flowing into the city, into the state, businesses shut down. Businesses shut down. Jobs are lost. When jobs are lost, there's no money. Jobs are lost. Unemployment goes up and poverty goes up. We can't afford to face that again. Okay, everything is a domino effect. Everything is a domino effect. Let's keep our country open. I'm not 100% American patriot or anything, but I am pro business, and we do need to keep our economy open so that way we can save jobs. That way we can keep the American people can keep their jobs. Okay? We need to keep our jobs so unemployment won't go up and poverty won't go up. Okay? Things is already bad as it is. Millions of people are still filing for unemployment. We don't need to make the situation worse. We can't let the solution be cause another problem. Let's keep everything open like it's supposed to be. Okay? And that'll be all I have for today. Hopefully this video will resonate throughout social media. Now click like, subscribe, and share. Okay? Take it easy, y'all. 1.